Good evening. As the Salutatorian of the class of 2022, I'd like to welcome Superintendent McTiernan, Principal DeLuca, Principal Bucka, Vice Principal Craig, members of the school board, our faculty, staff, members of the community, families, and friends to West Scranton High School's 80th commencement ceremony. When asked to speak as the Salutatorian, I thought to myself, what do you mean the Salutatorian gives a speech? The Salutatorian is, in essence, the second place spot, otherwise known as the first loser. In fact, I lost by approximately 0.0939 points, but who's counting? It's difficult to put into words how I feel standing before you all this evening. The road I traveled to get here was beset with obstacles, and finally graduating feels cathartic. I'm excited to see what the future holds for us all, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared as well. My fellow graduates, we have not had an easy path these last 4 years. We have overcome many hardships, from a pandemic, to virtual learning, to a stray cat in the cafeteria. We have persevered through it all. Though tonight feels like the end of something great, it also marks the beginning of a future, rich with promise and opportunity. Whether we are joining the workforce, the military, or attending college, we are moving forward with the full support of the West Scranton community. These past 4 years have fostered the strength, skills, and knowledge we need in order to flourish in our next endeavors. Some of you may be sitting here tonight with unrelenting anxiety about what the future holds. Others might be ready to leave high school and never look back. No matter how you feel, we are all united by our shared experiences and will remember each other for years to come. To the teachers who guided us here, I believe I speak on behalf of the entire class when I say, thank you for everything. Though our school year has run a little longer than expected, and some of us almost passed out of heat stroke in the gym, none of us could have made it here without you. Our teachers have gone out of their way to provide us with an excellent education, despite all the adversity we endured. Personally, I found that my biggest motivation in my studies has been the teachers I've learned from along the way. They have consistently inspired us to be hardworking and dedicated, even the lovingly loathed ones. I thank you all for putting in the work. Many go above and beyond to help their students, and are more than just teachers. They have been role models and even friends to many of us. We appreciate you for everything you've done for us, and will remember the lessons you've taught us for years to come. I would be remiss if I did not thank each and every family here who is here tonight, and the ones who couldn't be here. Family, for many of us, transcends mere blood relation. Every single person sitting in the audience today has come to support us, just as they have every day. And that makes them family. Family offers the strong foundation we all need in order to move forward into the next stages of our lives. Thank you to my family for being here tonight. Most importantly, I would also like to thank my fellow graduates for being along for the ride with me. Some of us have never spoken to each other and wouldn't even recognize each other in passing. I thank you anyway. Yes, there were screaming matches and fights that would rival WWE, but there were also countless good times. Friendships came and went, but the laughter and the memories we made together will always stick with us. To Ryan Lewis, our class valedictorian, I feel compelled to say it's been so invigorating competing with you all these years. Thank you for a good game, and congratulations on getting the top spot. If anyone's going to beat me, it deserves to be you. I'd like to close by saying that this marks only the beginning of the rest of our lives, not an end. That spark we've all had in us from the moment we were born has finally caught fire. It's my hope that we will all continue to burn brightly, even when our flames may flicker in the darkest nights. These have been the best, and sometimes the worst years of my life so far. I'm proud to call myself a graduate of West Scranton High School. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome Thomas Knoll to the podium to deliver the invocation.
Good evening. Before we begin, I would like to thank all parents, West Scranton High School faculty and staff, Superintendent McTiernan, members of the board, and members of the community for joining us tonight. Your sacrifices and countless hours of support have not gone unnoticed for this year's graduating class. The 2021-2022 school year has been what most would consider a normal year. Not only were we allowed to compete in our full seasons of athletics, but we've also been able to participate in all of our extracurricular activities, such as Spirit Week, formal dances, and scavenger hunt. Throughout the course of this school year, I believe that my classmates and I have come to the conclusion of a common theme. Our class is better together. When we first began high school, not one of us could possibly imagine going through a global pandemic that would strip us of about 1.5 years of high school and the experiences that come along with it. As freshmen, we walked through those doors on the first day of school with nerves and excitement. Stumbling our way through the hallways, we nervously tried to open our lockers and get to class. But amongst the nerves and anxiety, we thought of how much fun we would have participating in all the high school activities. We looked forward to playing in our first Potter Puff, participating in our first scavenger hunt, and our first Spirit Week. When the year ended, we all looked forward to our summer off and not worrying about having to complete work or study for quizzes, tests, and exams. Upon our return to school in the fall, there were normal groans and complaints that came in about going back to school, how much we would much rather be off in the summer still, and how we'd be counting down the days until our next break. On March 13th, everything began to change. They told us that we'd be off for 2 weeks, which then turned to 3, which then turned into finishing the school year virtually. When our junior year came around, some were hopeful that we'd be able to return to the hallowed halls of West Scranton High School. When we received the news that we would be virtual for the rest of the year, we knew that many of our experiences were gone forever. We were unable to participate in many of our normal extracurricular activities, including sports seasons. If any student were to be asked what the worst part about the COVID-19 virtual school year experience was, you may get that the work was annoying or that using Apex was a waste of time. But you will most likely get the common response of not being able to see your friends in person was the worst experience of them all. When it came time for our senior year to begin, we were all eager to return to school and see our teachers and our friends. We had learned that over our extended period of time away from each other in normal life, we developed a sense of camaraderie and unity. Our return to school required us to readjust to the normal life of school and strict deadlines. This required us to rely on each other for help. We quickly realized that our class was better together, and that our unity was unlike other classes that came before. In closing, as we begin the next chapter in our lives, may we all realize the importance of having each other and the lessons that we learned throughout our time here at West Scranton. We are hopeful that each and every one of you continue your journeys while remembering that your classmates are behind you every step of the way. It is our hope that all of the people who have impacted our lives continue to support us as we continue our journey through life. I would now like to welcome our class president, Tyler Michael, to the stage to give his address. Thank you.
Good evening. 4 years ago, we walked through these halls as intimidated freshmen, not knowing where to go. Now we sit on this stage, soon to be West Scranton High School alumni. As freshmen, we met new friends and new teachers. It was an exciting but nerve-wracking year as we acclimated ourselves to the high school workload and the variety of high school activities. It was the year we experienced our first bell game, haunted halls, scavenger hunt, semi, Powder Puff football game, and Spirit Week. Sophomore year was unfortunately cut short by COVID-19, but on the bright side, we were able to experience everything except Spirit Week. The pandemic forced us to pivot to virtual learning, which was a new experience for everyone. And just when we thought a regular, normal junior year was upon us, we were separated once again online. Although some returned to at the end of the school year, Although some returned to the school year at the end of the year, most stayed home and completed the year on our Chromebooks. We were unable to participate in the traditional activities that we looked forward to as students at West Scranton High School. The 2021-2022 school year was anxiously awaited. Luckily, it turned out to be a normal senior year. We walked back into the spacious halls of West Scranton High School for our final year as students. We were finally all back together and no longer talking to each other through computer screens. It was time to be seniors. We placed first in Powder Puff, where the girls went head-to-head against the sophomores and juniors, in what was supposed to be a flag football game that sometimes turned physical, with people getting thrown to the ground or run over. Our class did not mess around when it came to a competition. Our competitiveness also brought us first place in scavenger hunt, where we had to do an extensive list of crazy things, ranging from yoga with Mrs. Osan, bringing Mrs. McNally a gallon of Arizona iced tea, and eating pancakes at Waffle House. Some other wild scavenger hunt memories throughout the years include Camilla dressing up as a hot dog, to order a hot dog at Keystone, Aaliyah dyeing her hair blue, and Philly dressing up as a taco to eat a taco at Taco Mania. These moments in time brought everyone closer together and created lasting memories. The class of 2022 is unique. We have shown our ability to persevere, whether through a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, virtual learning, or birds flying through the cafeteria. The class of 2022 never let anything stop us. Some of us have been together since preschool, others have joined along the way, and in a few minutes we will receive our diplomas and commence a new chapter in our lives. In the weeks following this night, we will all go our separate ways, but we know that leaving West Scranton High School, we will be well prepared for anything life throws our way. Some of us will go into the military, others will go into the workforce, or continue our education in college and trade schools. For those of you going to college, enjoy the short summer you will have. Study hard, but have fun too. For those of you going into the workforce, work hard, but make sure to enjoy whatever you do. Never be afraid of starting a new job or trying new things. For those of you going into the military, thank you for choosing to serve our country. We are proud of you and your bravery. This class will be successful no matter where we go in life, and we will always have the memories of our experience at West Scranton High School to keep us together no matter how far apart we roam. Whether you will remember the spirit weeks, scavenger hunts, field trips, the walks in the halls between classes, or pulling an April Fool's joke on your psychology teacher, there is no doubt the class of 2022 had the time of our young lives here. On behalf of the class of 2022, thank you to the teachers and staff here for giving us the tools we need to succeed outside of West Scranton High School. Thank you to Mr. DeLuca and Mr. Craig for all that you've done for this class. Thank you to our class advisors, Ms. Chorba, Mrs. DeFrancesco, and Mrs. Stabrillo. Without the three of you, many activities would not have been possible. Thank you to Superintendent Tiernan and the Scranton School Board Directors for leading us through the past 4 years. We know it was not always easy. Last but not least, thank you to the parents, family members, and friends who helped us along the way and helped motivate us to succeed. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Brian Lewis, Valedictorian of the class of 2022, who will address his fellow graduates.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Lewis, and it is my absolute honor to deliver this speech today as West Scranton High School Valedictorian of the class of 2022. When I sat down to write this speech, I reflected on the unusual circumstances of our high school career. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that our tenure here at West Scranton High School had some unexpected twists and turns. But despite it all, the class of 2022 persevered. If the pandemic taught us anything, it's that together we can overcome any obstacle. I was very nervous to start high school, as I'm sure many of you were as well. However, those anxious feelings quickly faded as we adjusted to this massive building and our loaded schedules. My sophomore year, we understood the lay of the land and we came in with more confidence. Little did anyone know that an epic interruption was on the horizon. The COVID-19 pandemic was a challenge in and out of school for everyone. Being isolated from our friends and having to rapidly adapt to a new learning environment, a different routine was no easy feat. However, it was a challenge that had to be met, and the class of 2022 let it head out. We dug into the Google Meets that replaced our beloved classroom environments, refusing to let this new obstacle beat us. With the help of our teachers, who were already experts in adaptability, our classmates, administration, and occasionally Quizlet, we made it through. Junior year might have felt like a blur, but it taught every student seated behind me that same lesson. Through hardship comes strength. The chaos of junior year is partially responsible for how amazing senior year has been. The normalcy of the return to these halls, our friends and teachers, and the events that we all so looked forward to was twice as sweet. For me, the loss of last year helped break me out of my comfort zone as a senior. I did not want to waste any more time than I had already lost, and I know many of you feel the same. Not only did we persevere through an unprecedented situation, but we thrived, we grew, and we conquered. It we will take that lesson into the future, always remembering the accomplishments of the past. To say that I am proud to be your valedictorian is an understatement. A lot of hard work went into getting this far, and there were many times when I thought of giving up because of stress and discouragement. If it were not for my amazing family and friends, I know that I would not be here standing in front of you today. My mom and dad constantly pushed me to keep going, and I honestly cannot thank you enough for that. You two are the greatest parents for which I could ever ask for so many reasons, but watching you persevere is definitely at the top of my list. Unfortunately, my mom had a stroke during the beginning of sophomore year, and it was a difficult time for me and my family. Yet she fought through it and is sitting here today, continuing to get better each and every day and overcoming every obstacle in front of her. I could not have asked for a more inspiring mother, and her perseverance inspired me to keep working through the challenges of my academic career. My dad, who would drop everything to make sure that I could hang out with my friends on a weekend, would drive us back and forth to our usual haunts, all while caring for my mother too, is the hardest worker I have ever seen. He's inspired me to work just as hard. My brother, who will be entering high school in a few years himself, has been my biggest fan and has encouraged me to keep going by reminding me of what I can do, despite what might be in my way. While we don't always see eye to eye, he always has my back when I need it, so thank you for everything. To my friends, you've allowed me to be my authentic self and have coached me through some very stressful situations, all while allowing me to have the best of times. Thank you. Thank you to our advisors, Mrs. DiFrancesco, Mrs. DeGrilla, and Ms. Chorba for making our senior year so special. And thank you to our administration, Mr. DeLuca and Mr. Gregg, for helping all of us on our journey. The last thing I would like to say about this class is that while what comes next in your life will surely be an adjustment, it will definitely not be easy. Take a minute to look back on all you have persevered through already. You have thrived during a situation that has not been experienced in over a century. Do not overlook this by any means. There will be struggles, there will be times when you will doubt yourself. During those times, think about our years at West Scranton High School. Years that did not go as planned, but were rife with lessons and laughter and success along the way. Years that we made it through together. Do not give up because we, the class of 2022, have persevered through anything. I know how special this class is, and I know what everyone is capable of, and I cannot wait to see what we accomplish in the future. I wish nothing but success for all of you, and I hope you all enjoy this incredible moment that commemorates just how far we've already come. Thank you all for your time, and congratulations. I would now like to welcome Mr. DeLuca, the principal of West Scranton High School, to address the class of 2022.
Good evening. Thank you, Brian. As principal and a proud Invader, I want to welcome all of you to our 80th commencement ceremony. First, I'd like to start by welcoming our honored guests this evening, Superintendent Melissa McTierney, Board President Tariani, school board members, parents, guardians, grandparents, and family members. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'd also like to give a special thank you to our senior advisors, Mrs. Beth DiFrancesco, Mrs. Lois DeGrilla, and Ms. Johanna Chorba for coordinating and arranging the many details for tonight's ceremony. Also, a special thank you to Mr. Phil Danino for all of his technical assistance. Invaders. In many ways, this is a special class. This class is the first class that I've seen progress for all 4 years here at West Scranton High School. We both started on this journey 4 years ago with a focus on this day. Today is the culmination of the 4 years of hard work, looking back on your years at West Scranton High School. I want you to think back to when you were sitting in freshman orientation of those first few days. Remember the way it felt to walk down the long hallways, wander around the school looking for room numbers, find your locker, or sit in the cafeteria with your friends, wondering what the next 4 years would hold. That aimlessness turned into confidence, and then into pride. You learned what it meant to be an Invader, and how hard work and determination will help you meet your goals. You also learned the meaning of perseverance and adaptability. You made it through a global pandemic that put all of our lives on hold for the better part of a year and a half. You've adapted to new ways of learning. Terms like Google Classroom and Apex became part of your everyday lives. And you transitioned without a hitch. Most importantly, Invaders, you made us proud. Despite the many things that were thrown your way, you will always be remembered for your perseverance in the face of one of the hardest challenges to our educational setting this century. You took many changes in stride and found new ways to connect with friends and classmates. You learned to adapt and overcome, which are important skills that will help you be successful in the future. But the class of 2022 is not defined by one singular school year. This is a culmination of 4 years of hard work. You will never forget the many memories you've made, the friendships you've shared, and the teachers and coaches that got you there. Welcome to our West Scranton community. When you're walking down your new hallways in life, always remember those first few days at West Scranton High School, and that you can adapt and achieve anything you put your minds to, because you are invaders. Finally, I want to leave you with a quote from Navy SEAL Admiral William McRaven as he was addressing the graduates of the University of Texas. He had just got done explaining the importance of starting each day by making your bed. He drew upon the university slogan, which was, "What starts here changes the world." He said, "Remember, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you'll fail often. But if take some risks, step up when times are toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than what we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better." Friends and families of our West Scranton community, it is with great pride I present to you the senior class of 2022. And now I'd like to introduce the graduates of West Scranton High School. Kyle Granville. Adam Zenker. Darius Gutro. Bryce Walsh. Jane Weber. Cecilia Walsh. Michaela Cordero. Emily Fagerman. Alfredo Santiago. Xavier Cimarron. Carter Albanese. And Anthony Calhoun. Jaden Baldwin. Christopher Rowland. Jason Prophet. Michaela Walker. Serena Martin. Cinnamon Sharp. Bianca Juice. Patrick Forrest. Michael Akai. Aaron Elbert. And Nathan Parker. Jason Gonzalez. Miguel Jimenez. Oscar Hughes. Cherie Randolph. Danielle Hubler. Annajeli Guzman. Jasmine Rowland. Isabella Alvarez. Alex Marrero. Kevin Mata. And Enzo Antonetti. Dwight Hamilton. Ryan Garcia. Jaden Lilly. Nicholas Jarowski. Jalen Lee. Destiny Tyson Luga, Jessica Galena, Artie Siwa, Caroline Swolinski, Sade Pike, Mary Sinclair, Emily Labar, Deja Diamond Williams, Cyan Roman, Pedro Velez, JC Almonte, Colin Lyons, Tyler Pinsett, and Robert Graham. Courtney White, Anthony Diaz, Javon Jones, Starasia Davis, Pratichka Shankar, Lovina Redor, Tamara John, Yvette John, Josiah Rodriguez, Ariana King, Emily Camacho, Georgia Larner, Alexandra Kell, Dimani Escobar, Jelana Del Boy, Melanie Cordero, Frank Battaglia, and Paulo Fiorini. Kevin Lewis, Aiden Bensley, Zachariah Casella, Jacqueline Guevara, Adeline Lopez, Shanice Gomez, Alyssa Miller, Charlene Catisa, Julia Harris, Allison Bible, Kaylee Janesco, Serenity Fuller, Miriam Herrera, Timberly Lasher, Aaron Lona, Peyton Gallagher, Tamir Coe, Gianni Solomon, and Vito Chulo. Eric Schaefer, Antonio Vargas, Antonio Castillo, Ethan King, Michael Romini, Danielle Reese, Kayla Camacho, Ariana Varela, Kaylee Brown, Ulisa Griffin, Feliciana Smith, Lish Joan Rios Marquez, Jonalise Rios Marquez, Lanique Bradford, Renee DeMelfi, Brandon Griffiths, Noah Velasquez, Jeffrey Jarbola, Kyle Penning, and Domingo De Jesus. Emily Evans. Olivia Fennessy. Brianna Falvo. Kayla Baldoni. Jennifer Ojeda. Destiny Jones. McKenna Miller. Lavinia White. Alexandra Ratchford. Maurice Moore. Jacob Wambacker. Ashton Sigliona. Austin Hughes. And Jonah Chen. Michael Kelp. Anthony Marcelo. John Turba. Patrick Kazuko. Joshua Truskalowski. Aaliyah Nunez. Nevaeh Hammond. Chloe Slater. Abigail Griffiths. Leslie Camacho. Rachel Hyde. Isabella Salerno. Caitlin Bryant. Ritu Rejni. Nayeli Santiago. Nicholas Walsh. Nicholas Gordy. Kieran Doherty. Arjul Dominguez. And Shazib Sikander. Kevin Urancilla. Anthony Silva. Jairo Yanez. Gavin Harrington. Dominic Spano. Emily Dominguez Tolentino. Jahaira Torres Santiago. Kelly Tolentino Dominguez. Isabella D. Fleece. Alicia Pedway. Quamira Richardson. Rose Navarez. Melissa Hazelton. Molly Jimenez. Tajay Span Oliver. Aaron Bauman. Ian Kohler. Thomas Denning. Dominic Trainer. And John Velasquez. Joshua Aguero. Christopher Bruno. Michael Reed. Joshua Washington. Jose Paramo. Veronica Castro Matias. Rusbelli Almonte. Ariana Tolentino. Lauren Olivares. Kaylin Nolasco. Adriana Cardona Rosa. Leilani Robles. Jasmine DeFridas. Gianna Pelosi. Alexis Lazuka. Mackenzie Lane. Pedro Sanchez Santiago. Martine Mejia. Aiden Lee. Jesus D'Anzano. And Arthur Russell. John J. Cardenas. Christian Ponce. Molly Regan. Ngali Davila. Savannah Thomas. Jenny Vito. Camilla Sapapasai. Natalie Nowakowski. Aaliyah Coaches. Brianna Perea. Odalis Camarillo. Veronica Cordero. Michael Udako. Aiden Kaloji. Edward Miranda. Shannon Core. And Brian Connell. Jacob Fernandez. Jacob Edmondson. Jacob Quiles. Antonio Torres. Sincere John Louise. Liliana Tula. Natalia Ferreira. Angie Diaz. Bobby Rose Smith. Ajaya Parker. Triana Santiago. Subani Manger. Maria Luna. Janine Naraga Singh. Gianna Merrifield. Sheila Frazier. Arnold Aguilar. Gavin Royce. Uari Sinabaya. Brian Lukey. And Adam Earhart. Tyler Michael. Ryan Lewis. Madison McGibbon. Thomas Knoll. Jessica Bennett. Victoria Hearn. Coleman McDonough. Victoria Watkins. Gianna Russo. Justin Gottlieb. Molly Donovan. Olivia Dewar. Madison Maloney. Sage Lesh. Ava Stabrilla. Gianna Tallow. Finley McHale. Jack Fahey. Baker. Haley White. And Vinny Tang. Congratulations, graduates.
I'd like to introduce the class officers and make a few special acknowledgements. Senior Class President Tyler Michael. First Vice President Victoria Watkins. Second Vice President Thomas Nolan. Corresponding Secretary, Ava Strabilla. Recording Secretary, Gianna Russo. Treasurer, Jack Bailey. Miss Invader, Sage Lesh. Student Council President, Colvin McDonough. First Vice President, Finley McHale. Second Vice President, Molly Duncan. Corresponding Secretary, Gianna Callow. Recording Secretary, Madison Malone. Treasurer, Olivia Dewar. We have 4 students who have joined the armed forces. We have 83 students who are members of the National Honor Society. We have 8 students who are members of the Career Technology Center Honor Society. We have 132 students who have received the Invader Award for 2 or more years of participation in school activities, including their senior year.
been accepted at colleges, universities, or specialized schools. We have several $1 million in scholarships and grants that have been awarded to the members of the class of 2022. Thank you. I will now read the class honors. English, 3rd honors, Jacqueline Rivera. 2nd honors, Jessica Bennett. 1st honors, Madison McGivern. 2nd Social Studies, 3rd honors, Jessica Bennett. 2nd honors, Jacqueline Rivera. 1st honors, Madison McGivern. Mathematics, 3rd honors, Jessica Bennett. 2nd honors, Madison McGivern. 1st honors, Ryan Lewis. Science, 3rd honors, Thomas Knoll. 2nd honors, Colvin McDonough. And 1st honors, Ryan Lewis. Languages, 4 years, French. 3rd honors, Jennifer Ojeda. 2nd honors, Jesus Graciano. And 1st honors, Kevin Morales. Spanish, 3rd honors, Jessica Bennett and Victoria Hearn. 2nd honors, Thomas Knoll. 1st honors, Ryan Lewis. Latin, 1st honors, Aaron Bauman. Vocational honors, Michael Akai. Joshua Harvey. Bianca Juice. Colin Lyons. Jaden Matu. Christopher Rowland. And Emily Tolentino. Business, 3rd honors, Molly Reagan. Second honors, Jason Profko. And first honors, Patrick Forrest. The following are the top 10 students in the class of 2022. Number 10, Tyler Michael. Number 9, Justin Gockley. Number 8, Gianna Russo. Number 7, Victoria Watkins. Number 6, Colvin McDonough. Number 5, Victoria Hearn. Number 4, Jessica Bennett. Number 3, Thomas Knoll. Number 2, Madison McGibbon. And the top student for the class of 2022 is Ryan Lewis.
And now, I would like to ask Mr. DeLuca to return to the podium. I would also like to welcome Mrs. Melissa McTiernan, Superintendent of the Scranton School District, to the stage for the certification of the graduates.
Will the graduates please stand and remain standing for the certification? As principal of West Scranton High School, I hereby certify that these students have completed the courses required by the Scranton School District and are entitled to receive their diplomas. I call upon Mrs. Melissa McTiernan, Superintendent of the Scranton School District, who will certify these students.
Class of 2022, your principal, Mr. DeLuca, has certified that you have successfully completed all of the requirements prescribed in the respective courses of West Scranton High School. By the authority vested in me through the Board of Education of the City of Scranton, it is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to present to you the diploma of West Scranton High School, certifying that you are now entitled to all of its rights, privileges, and responsibilities of a graduate thereof. Please join me in congratulating the new class of 2022.
Will the senior band and chorus members please gather in the front of the stage to lead everyone in the singing of the West Scranton High School alma mater. Audience, please rise.